Hey guys, just got home, was away for 10 days, but you'd never know it because I filmed enough videos to keep them going while I was gone. You guys didn't even have a clue I was out of the country. I was gone to Ireland for 10 days. So on the channel, you are going to see some Ireland videos. I just finished transferring 586 files from the phone and another 390 from the camera. So we've got lots of photos, lots of videos. I will piece together a few videos, but that's not what this is about. You can kind of see Hannah was busy. She cleaned the garage for me when I was gone. I was gone on my birthday, which was May 6th. Why is that important? Because I have something here that we need to open and take a look at. I wasn't going to buy it, but it was on sale, and the sale ended on my birthday, May 6th, and I was going to be gone. I was on a plane that day, so I had to decide, and I decided we did it. It's here, and I'm excited to show you guys what we got.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Okay, here it is. Some of you already know what it is. minelab Manticore. Woo! I'm not sure how to feel about this one. I'm excited. I actually am. I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't think it was going to be everything I hoped. So, here's where we're going with this. For those of you that don't know, we already own the minelab 600. We've owned that for 4 years. We have found so many silver coins. That thing will not miss a silver coin. Where I'm hoping the Manticore here is going to do us a little better is there's supposed to be 50% more power here. So that should translate to a little more depth. And this comes with the 11-inch coil. But I also ordered something else. Okay, so we dig a little deeper into our box here. We also ordered, look at the size of that, the M15, which has styrofoam on it, so you can't actually see. There it is, M15. That's the 15-inch coil. We have never owned a coil that big or that expensive. This coil was like $470 plus tax. So yeah, we went extreme on this one, guys. And all I can say is we're going to put this through paces. We're going to go places. I have about 8 fields that we go to now, and we don't get any silver coins. You know, 3 or 4 of us go for 4 hours. We get bored, and we don't even get 1 silver coin. So that, to me, is going to be the true test. This thing, for the price of it, had better pull a few more coins out of those fields. And we're going to extensively hunt with this machine those fields. Now, we've still got the Legend. We've still got the 600. We're going to do a lot of bush hunting. We're going to do a lot of Voyageur hunting this summer. But when the bugs are bad, which they are just starting right now, we're going to go to the open fields, our fairground permission, some of the parks downtown that John and I have cleaned up on. We're going to put the 15-inch coil on the Manticore, and we're going to see, you know, is this thing worth more than double the price of the other machines? So, for example, the Legend cost me $900 and some plus tax, and that came with 2 coils. This thing with the 15-inch coil, $2,400. So there is no comparison in terms of price. Is this machine going to justify that extra price? I don't know. We're going to put it through paces, and I'm going to actually give you my opinion at the end of the summer. It's going to be hard to say to just grab this machine and go out and start comparing. But you know that's what we're going to do. Because you know me, I'm just going to go out. I've already watched a ton of videos. At night, when we were done our daily escapades in Ireland, I would spend a couple hours at night watching videos to prepare myself for using this. And we're going to start tomorrow. The whole reason I got this open right now is we need to charge this so I can use it tomorrow. Okay, so here we have our new Manticore on the right with the 15-inch coil and our old faithful 600 and the 11-inch coil. So there's the difference in coil sizes. We're going to bring both of these guys with us today when we go out to hit one of the old parks that we've hit 100 times before. We're going to swing this mostly to see if we can get some new, deeper coins, but we will check it with this one to see if it would hit the coin signals that we find as well. I've lifted both machines, and to me, the 15-inch coil on this machine does not really feel any heavier than this machine. I know we have a carbon fiber shaft on here, and I guess that's making a difference. My point being, the 15-inch coil does not feel that heavy. Okay, gonna start here at a little park that we have done. God, guys, we didn't even come here last season because we were so sure we got everything. There is quite a bit of interference here from power lines and a power box over there by the creek, and it caused havoc with all the cheaper machines that we had. So I'm hoping that the Manticore can, you know, run a little more power here in this park, handle the interference better. But I don't know if we're going to find anything. I have so many questions about this machine. Why can't I find any current videos on the Manticore? Is it just so obnoxiously expensive that guys are like, what the hell? There's no justification for this extra price in any way, shape, or form. That's the feeling I get. But I don't know. I want to answer these questions. All we can do is just start swinging it. I feel maybe I should not have done this, but I did. I own the machine. All we can do now is test the hell out of it and just see if it finds its coins in places that, like this park right here, I feel are pretty much picked out. It's noisy out there. Once I open this car door, all bets are off. What you guys are going to be able to hear when I'm walking around and talking, but let's get at it. Let's start swinging the Manticore. First thing I will say is that these headphones do not noise cancel anything. This is a very busy spot right here. It's very loud, and I can hear all of it. There's no noise canceling properties to these proprietary headset that comes with the Manticore. Kind of disappointed. It's showing all kinds of garbage down there, but it keeps going up into the 90s. Okay, so sadly, that's the first item I dug with my new $2,400 machine, a rusty nail. Now, it was not showing a solid signal, but it was showing, you know, hitting up into the 90s, and there was a dot on that non-ferrous line. I think there's going to be a massive learning curve with this machine, I'm afraid. Same hole, a second nail. I'm going to see if we can get a little more steady of a signal. These were bouncing around quite a bit, so I won't blame the machine. It's just, I mean, it's going to take some time to learn the machine. In terms of pinpointing, though, the 15-inch coil is very accurate. It was telling me that there was an item right there, boom, dig here, and of course, it was right on, spot on. I keep forgetting to watch the actual visual screen, the 2D, so we can see that's a fairly 58, 57, 58, that's a pretty solid. Okay, that was a fine bit of wire. It wasn't rolled up like that. It was stretched out. Bringing up into the 90s and showing right on the non-ferrous line, way up on the right side. And it's a high pitch. I'm going to mark that and see what the Equinox 600 shows in this spot. Again, it's a higher tone, and it's going from anywhere from 22, 18 to 27, and ultra deep. So both machines are finding it and showing me the same thing. Not much, like in terms of, you'd have to go with sound on this one. Okay, there it is, a heavy brass nut. And it was not that deep, maybe 5 inches. So, I mean, I can't draw any conclusions, but both machines were reading it in the same awkward, non-positive, hey, this is, you know, a solid number, a solid sound, a solid depth showing, because both of them were showing that it was like 10 inches, and it wasn't, it was half that, but I mean, it's smaller than a coin, right? So that makes sense. It's going to be a long learning curve of a summer, but I have my doubts as to the veracity of how much better the Manticore is going to be than the 600. I don't know, I'm not feeling it. But let me be clear, I have no regrets buying this machine, because you would always have the question, you know, is it better? Is it, you know, the top dog? And I'm sure in many ways it is better. The fact that it has a 0 to 100 scale on it, to me, is better. I never liked the 0 to 50 or 0 to 60 scale on the 600 or the Legend. Just didn't make sense why they did that. One thing I am impressed with right off the hop is this 15-inch coil. Look at the size of that compared to my head. And the ease of pinpointing and finding items in this trashy ground has kind of surprised me. I was afraid that we were just going to have a lot of signals, you know, interfering with each other because these parks are so dirty and trashy, but this thing is separating out. I think it's separating out better than the 600. It feels a little faster, a little smarter. And I was also worried that because of the size of the coil, like, you know, you'd be hitting something on the tip of the coil, but it's not. It's all right there at the shaft where you should be looking for pinpointing is working. So I am impressed with this coil. I can't say anything about the 11-inch because we haven't tried it, but you know, we jumped right in here, right into the deep end. Put the big coil on a machine we have no clue how to use and start swinging. I say that a little facetiously, guys, because I do spend thousands of hours a summer detecting, and I do know my machines, and I've owned many machines in the 8 years we've been running this channel, so I have no fear when it comes to figuring it out. Am I using the best settings off the hop? No, but we're using the ones that it came recommended with, so we can't be too far off the mark for a guy just supposedly learning this machine. We have a huge leg up because we already know the 600 inside and out. Solid 57, and again, another little tiny piece of wire down there. Another 57. Okay, here's another one that was ringing up into the 90s. It was 68 and then 98, 95, and it's copper wire that was down there about 7 inches. I'll get that out of there. Another one of those ringing up into the 90s that you've got to check, but not a signal I would call a coin signal. And again, it's another piece of wire that we've missed. I mean, that sounds like a coin. It's not deep, but look at that line on the 2D bar. It's not like a round coin. I don't know what I'm looking at. We're gonna dig it. Okay, that's what we're looking at. I'm interested to see what a solid 5 is. Tinfoil. Now I know. I don't know, it's solid. Let's dig it. How many rusty things can ring up as a solid number? I don't know. Okay, black flies are in full swing. Okay, I've got to say I am impressed, guys. I'm in a spot here I can't really show you, but in this 10-foot spot, okay, I told you it was noisy. Whew, I've got sweaty ears. I don't like this headset. It's heavy. It doesn't block any of the sound. Anyway, back to what I was going to say. So in this spot right here, I know it's very trashy. And this machine, every 2 inches, is showing me a different item. The numbers are fairly stable. This is a 55. That's a 67. That's a, you know, and there's literally, guys, 40 things. I don't know, screws, junk. I'm sure it's all junk. There's no coin signals, but the way this thing is discriminating out the trash, I have no doubt if there was a coin in there, I would hear it. And I am impressed with what I'm hearing from this machine right now. Even though I can't prove it because we haven't found a coin, but we've been over this spot so many times, I don't know that there's any coins left in here. Okay, so we may have found a coin right here, guys, in amongst all the junk. 73 to 82, it's bouncing around, but if we look at our 2D thing, it doesn't look promising, but the sound, it sounds like a coin. The numbers are showing like a coin. Let me grab the 600. With the 600, we are not getting any signal right there. Nothing. So this is kind of what I was looking for. I'm hoping that's a coin. And this will kind of, you know, prove the whole point of why we bought that machine. What? That is not a coin. Some kind of iron rod sticking up. Okay, well, the Manticore found it when the Equinox didn't get any signal at all. So I guess we got to give it points for that, right? Okay, so what did we learn today? Well, we learned blackfly season is in full swing. I think this machine does discriminate better than the 600. It seems to pick things up. I mean, I don't know. There has to be coins where you're going to try to find coins. And if there are no coins, it doesn't matter what tests you do. It doesn't matter what machine you use. There has to be things there to find. And I'm just not sure because this park has that many hours on it. I was surprised by how many 50s and 60s signals I was still getting out there. And I dug a couple dozen of them, and they were rusty nails, rusty screws, pieces of wire. So I'm surprised that they were ringing up that high on the machine, but again, it's a new machine, I don't know it. Shout out to Iffy over on Iffy Signals channel, YouTube, Mike. He told me that I would like this machine. It was on sale. He said it's a no-brainer, and I agree. For me, it is. I just have to get to know the machine. And I think maybe this methodology in my head of going to the places that have been beat down and to death to see if the machine is better might not be the right way to do this, because I could be getting discouraged by the fact that we're not pulling out coins with the new machine, but there just might not be coins there, you know? Okay, so I've switched parks. We're not done here. We're gonna go try this park, which I have found silver in. Haven't found any here in a while, but I think there's more chance of finding a coin here. There's more ground here. Let's try the Manticore here. I think that's what I learned at that other field, is you gotta go somewhere where you still have a little bit of confidence that there might be a coin. Okay, 4 steps in, and I think I've found a coin here. Probably just a penny, but I have no idea. Okay, so it is just a penny, but I want to check the screen here and just see. It wasn't the most solid signal. Okay, let's stand here beside one of my big old favorite trees in this park. It's a monster. We'll talk for a minute here. I think this machine and the experience comes down to expectation. And I paid $1,900 for this machine. Okay, the top of the line, minelab, the Manticore. And my expectation was that we would have a better VDI number on the screen, that the 2D display is going to help us, you know, and it should show us when we have 2 items in the same hole. But the VDI was just bouncing on a copper coin at 4 inches from 77 right up to 85. My expectation is that it should lock into a copper item like that and give me 1 number, maybe 2. Maybe it shows 77, 78, but it should show at that depth, boom, this is a copper penny. So my expectation is not being met in some regards. I am finding that the machine is discriminating in trash very well, especially with that big coil. Maybe, well, it's above my expectation. So it's all relative, right? Is this machine offering anything more than the Legend for an extra $1,000? At this point, I can't rightly say, guys. It doesn't really feel like it. The Legend is a pretty damn good machine. The Equinox 800, we could do the same things, find the same treasure. Even my Equinox 600. I don't know that this machine is going to find anything that those machines are going to miss. And I think over the next few weeks, when we hit all these parks and places that I've done hundreds and hundreds of hours on them, if we're not pulling out silver coins, you know, a lot of silver coins, we may find 1 or 2 inadvertently by hitting somewhere we haven't gone over before. But my expectation is that I'll be coming away from these hunts going, wow, I found stuff in areas that I have done many times and did not feel there was anything left there. And that first park that we tried earlier in this video, I did not come away with that feeling. I just felt like we were hitting the same targets that were there that I was hitting with the other machines. And did I mention, again, here we are working beside a roadway, I really dislike this headset. It is very noisy and heavy. And I believe, now maybe I'm wrong, I'm hoping I'm wrong, you can't just connect a normal Bluetooth headset to this machine. It uses proprietary engineering. So I'm going to try. I've got like 8 sets that we bought for the Equinox 600, and none of them connected very well to that machine. But I am going to try, and I'm going to do a bit of research. One of the videos I watched, they mentioned something about only being able to use this headset with Bluetooth. I don't know. If that's the case, I'm gonna be upset. Solid 61. This machine loves little bits of wire. What's going on? Half a key, ringing in solid 66. 2 more pennies in the last 2 holes. So this one here is a 1993 and it was ringing up 78 to 82. And then this one here is an 89 and it was ringing up much lower, 69 to 75. So neither one of them had a solid VDI number, but I could tell by the tone on the machine, a nice high tone, copper tone, that they were indeed coins. Now I found a signal. I switched to 40 kilohertz because I thought, well, let's pick up some change while we're here. I'm in an area where they park all the cars. There is change here. I'm going to get it. And I've got a signal I'll show you guys. It's ringing up in 40 kilohertz up to the 70s, but nothing on the multi-frequency setting. So this possibly could be some Canadian clad. Before I dig it, I'll just show you guys. Okay, so in 40 kilohertz, we get this. 70 to 75. Okay. So to me, that's a coin signal, possibly. Right there. But let's switch to multi-frequency. And I get a little broken up chirp showing 22 to nothing on the screen. 7, 5, in the exact same spot where if we switch it to 40, we're getting into the 70s. So I suspect that this is going to be Canadian clad. Let's find out. Well, no. It's actually something quite big. Didn't sound that big. Okay. So multi-frequency was saying don't bother with that, and it was in fact right. However, if I was in a relic area, I would want to find something like that, because that could be a belt buckle. That is about the right size, shape, and thickness of metal for something cool like that, old horse tack or belt buckle something. But I guess there was enough of a scritch there that in a relic zone I probably would have dug that anyway, because you're going to dig everything in the old relic places. There it is, the first pull tab on the new machine. Solid 46 with a nice circle dot right in the center of the 2D non-ferrous line. So it was right dead center crosshairs, 46. Don't dig that crap. Okay, 95 to 97. I should have filmed it, but I thought it was just going to be another piece of junk, and it's not. First silver ring of the season. Alright, first treasure with the Manticore. A silver ring. It's very tiny. It's a kid's ring. And I don't see a marking on it. Stamped 925 or anything, but it is silver. And you can see where it was very crudely sized for this kid. There's a line there. But cool. First treasure with the Manticore. And there is 2.5 hours worth of junk that the Manticore has removed from our parks here in the north. Thank you, Manticore. Okay, 1946, and that one was down there 8 inches. I thought I had silver. It was ringing up solid 87, 88. But that's just a true old copper. You know, in the 1940s, the copper content was where it should have been for these old coins. Wait a minute, I should mention that I just walked out onto the actual baseball diamond here, and 10 feet on, I got that signal and that coin. And again, this is one of those places that we have pounded and pounded and pounded. So is it just a place that we missed? I don't know, let's keep going. That's a good sign. Okay, that one was deep, down there 10 inches, because you can see 9 inches to the pinpointer there, and another inch on top, so 10 inches. Something copper here. I don't know what it is. So it is in fact some kind of case that slides into itself. You can see there's the outer case right here, and then the inner case right here. I would have guessed maybe some like lipstick, but it's not round, and I don't think it's squished. I think that is the actual shape of it. That is old. 1930s, 1940s, whatever it is. And if I try to take that apart, it's just going to break. So we'll leave it as a mystery item intact. If you know what that is, comment below. Okay, so to find these old 8 or 10 inch items, I've got the power pumped all the way up to 30, and it is a little bit noisy. But when you're swinging the coil, it's not that much noisy. You can tell when you hit over an item, but it is chirping away in my ear right there, right now, just sitting here. Okay, so there's another deep item here, just barely showing up. And it's not giving me a high number. Right there. Okay, another old one down there about 8 inches, and it's a wheat penny. Let's see if we can get a date off of that. Okay, we've got it, 1945, right here by my fingernail. There's a 19 is still covered in crud, but 45. Alright guys, so I just actually had a city guy come up and tell me to not dig here in the park, and I went over and talked politely with him, and I pointed out the fact that I've probably put 2,000 holes in this field in the last 8 years. And he's like, oh really? And I'm like, absolutely. And I said, well, you know, I can respect that you don't want us, you know, disturbing the field. I said, my daughter actually does play here. Hannah played here last night. I'm very careful. And I said, I video everything, and it goes up on my channel. So after a little bit of a talk, he said, okay, no problem. And I told him, well, I said, there is actually no bylaw in town for not detecting the park. So I said, you know, I mean, I don't want to make a big deal of it, but I said, this is my hobby, this is what I do, I'm very careful. I said, and by all means, come and check my work when I'm done. And I told him, you know, I've got 20 holes dug out here on the field right now. And so anyway, after a little bit of a talk, he was, you know, nice about it. He realized, I guess, in the end, you can't do anything if there isn't a bylaw telling us, you know, we're not doing anything illegal. We are allowed to dig here. But you have to stick up for yourself. If I hadn't gone over and had that conversation with him, he would have had me just get out of here, be gone. But no. After 8 years, you guys know, I will not allow that to happen. I will stick up for our detecting rights. Okay, now we're paying for that Manticore. There's a quarter. I don't think it's old. It definitely wasn't ringing up like silver. No. Probably from the 70s. Yeah, 79. Okay, so that is just over 3 hours of digging, and we are down 1/3 battery. So you're only going to get about 10 hours on a charge with the Manticore. Alright, I think I'm going to stop this video here, guys, because I've got a couple of things that we can say. On deeper items, 8 to 10 inch coins, those old 1946 and 45, and the copper, I don't know if it was a lipstick case or whatever it was, we found very deep items. You're not getting any better visual display number. You're hardly getting anything on the 2D screen, and the sound is, it's kind of all over the place, you know. There's enough of a noise there to say, hey, there's something here, but to say it was a coin or something else, no. So I don't know, like, I was hoping that the claim that this machine is putting out, you know, 50% more power should mean that on a 10-inch coin we're going to get a definitive signal, and I'm going to know 100% that it's a coin. And just from my limited test here today, that's not the case. Yes, it's hitting, and we're finding items in a place that I've pounded. I'm still trying to justify the extra $1,200 we spent on this machine, and I don't know. Until we get into fine-tuning settings and things like that, I just don't know, guys. Not enough hours on the machine, but there's our first 3. And there is the keeper pile. 66 cents, a silver ring, and a copper I don't know what. We'll put all of that in the hoard.